everybody, this is Christine with my very first ever Plan With Me video. I would be lying if I said I wasn't just a wee bit nervous about this and that I feel a little bit strange talking to myself here in my house. But there you go, I wanted to try one of these. There are lots and lots and lots of Plan With Me videos where people use stickers in their planners, but not many that are more exclusively stamping. And since I'm a stamper, I thought that maybe there would be a market or a need for a video like this, so here I am. I am planning the week of next week, March 7th to March 13th, and this is an Inkwell press in the flex or horizontal layout, Monday through Thursday on the left, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the right, and this little note section at the bottom. So my weekly planning routine kind of always starts off the same way. I like to use a little bit of washi tape to section off these 3 colored boxes and then across the top and the bottom. And I am going with these 3 fairly cheapo washi sets from Michaels this week for that purpose. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that and get all my washi tape down. Okay, so my washi is down, and I'm sure you saw that I cut it with my X-Acto knife because the rolls as they exist are just, for me, they're just too wide and would take up too much space, and I didn't want the color to completely take over the page. I just want it more as an accent. So my method is to lay down the tape and then use my X-Acto knife and a metal ruler to cut. And if you do this, you just want to very lightly pull the blade. You don't want to press it down into the paper. You just want to pull it across because you want to score the paper, or the tape rather. You don't want to actually cut through the paper. I learned my lesson on that in my Erin Condren, but if you look on the other side, there's no kind of cut or anything here. So it does not go through the page. At any rate, here's my finished washi tape sectioning. And the next thing that I like to do for Monday through Friday is to divide my days in half. And I use the left side of each box for work stuff. I'm a teacher, so I put my meetings and parent conferences and grades are due or whatnot on that side. And then on the right side of each day, I put down errands that I need to run or things that I need to remember to do So I'm just going to use this old plastic ruler that came with my Erin Condren last year and do dotted lines Monday through Friday. Okay. So now that is nice and done and looks pretty, I think. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some little custom pieces to cover up the days of the week and the dates and sort of make my own. I had not been doing that previously. In my previous spreads, I just, I left the dates as is and they were fine. And then last week, I made these little flags to go along with my little dragons, and I thought those came out super cute. So I totally want to do the same thing again for this week. And I'm going to use Sweet Stamp Shop's Adventure Awaits set. This is going to be my decorating, but I'm going to use some of these other pieces functionally. But this little piece right here, which I think is meant to be stamped like on a Post-it flag. It's just the right size for that, but I think it will also be perfect for covering these. Oh yeah, see, look at that. That's going to be great for covering those up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same technique that I used last week. I'm going to stamp this on sticker paper, which is what I did here with the dragon banner. The white part in the middle is sticker paper. And then I'm going to cut that out, and then I'm going to stick it down onto a piece of scrapbook paper. And then I'm going to cut that out, and then I'm going to run it through my Xyron sticker machine. And it's going to make the whole thing into a sticker that I can just lay down. So let me scoot this out of the way for a second, and I will get going on that. So there you go. Now that is done. And I just think that is super cute and just will fit in better with my overall decorating theme for the week. So I'm pretty happy about those. All right, so now what I'm going to do is start putting in bullet points for my work things to do and my home things to do. So I normally use this coffee set from Sweet Stamp Shop. I use the stamp that says the Daily Grind to put up here for my work items. But the brand new Adventures Await sets has a banner that says things to do. And I thought that would be things to do, things to do, things to do, things to do. That would be perfect for this. So I'm going to give that a go. I have a number of items already that I know need to be accomplished next week. What I do is my pre-planning strategy, whenever appointments or things come up that I know need to be done, you know, a few days out or you know, a week out, I go to my monthly layout and write it out in here. So this is not super pretty. I find out about a parent conference, or I find out about a meeting that's happening or whatever, and I just write it in. And then what I do is I use Post-it notes on the week, and so I had one down for each day, and each one has whatever it is from the monthly. For example, interim grades are due on Monday, so that was on the Monday Post-it, and that was here. So now when I'm sitting down to actually plan, I just take a look at these Post-its and I know how many bullets I need. I usually put down a bullet point for each thing that I know I have to do, and then maybe one or two extra to be able to write things in later if I need to. So I do have a few things already on the docket for Monday through Thursday of next week. And I'm gonna make myself little check boxes, and I use this stamp set from Sweet Stamp Shop to do that. This is called Plan Script. I don't think it's available anymore, but it does have this little box in it that I like to use as a checkbox. And you could probably, there are so many stamp sets that have boxes. I think it would be pretty easy to find one somewhere to get a box. So I'm gonna go ahead through my Monday through Friday and put my work check boxes down. And if there are home things, well, actually, I'll do the home side in a minute. First, I'm just going to do the work check boxes. All right, so here are my to-dos for work next week. Right now, Friday is blissfully empty in my calendar, but I am quite sure that something will pop up to go in there. So I went ahead and put in a couple of check boxes there so that I can add some things later. And that pretty much takes care of the work stuff. Now what I'm going to do is put in my home items. And I have the same sort of several things that I like to accomplish every evening at my house. One of them is to practice my Italian. I am working on learning Italian, and so I use the Duolingo app, and I've sort of challenged myself to do a certain amount of it every night to try to learn how to speak the language at least maybe a little bit decently before I go, excuse me, go there this summer. So I always use the basic tabs set to indicate my language practice. I like to use one of these two. I switch sort of back and forth onto which one I use each week. And inside the box every night when I complete my practice, I put down what I studied, if it was verbs or pronouns or who knows what, and I use the globe from the Plan School set, if I can find that sweet stamp shop in here somewhere. There it is, the little globe to indicate my language practice, and I'm going to put that on the bottom of each day, Monday through Friday. The weekend, I'm going to kind of wait until the end after Monday through Friday is done and then plan the weekend, because I do that usually a little bit differently. Okay, so now that is done, and now it's time for me to attack this weekend section. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Adventure Awaits, and I think I'm going to use these cute little arrows. Yeah, I'm going to use these little arrows to make sort of like a double row here to just sort of separate the weekend from the rest of the week. You guys, I think I kind of like how this came out. Super cute. So there you go, that's going to be my weekend separator. And now I need to go ahead and stamp all my weekend stuff. So now what I'm going to do is fill in the 3 daily boxes, and I use these like so. The top box is for my skincare routine, morning and night. It has several steps, and I tend to get really lazy and not do them. So as you can see, I have skipped many of them this week. If there's a little box there to check off, I'm more likely to get them done. I think the week before that, I ended up doing, well, no, I guess I didn't really do so hot that week either. Oh, here we go. This week I did good. See all the check marks? So yeah, if there's boxes there, I might be more likely to actually take care of my skin properly. The middle box is for any chores that need to be done that day. Little kitty paw for scooping the litter box, the days that the trash and the recycling go out, days that there's a particular television show I like to watch. The broom is for cleaning the house. The little shirt is for laundry. So I put those in because they happen at the same time every week. And then the last box I put today, I use this plan or title script from Sweet Stamp Shop. And I like to, at the end of each day, just sort of write down how the day was. Just sort of my mood or what have you. It's just sort of a nice way to sort of end the day before I go to bed. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few minutes and get all of those items stamped in. So at this point, all of the functional stamping that I need to get through my week and not forget any major errands or events is in. And now comes the point where I like to decorate my planner a little bit. Leaving it just like this would be perfectly fine, but I love to do something cute down here in this note section. And these, oh my goodness, these little creatures have been calling to me ever since I first saw them. So I think what I'm going to do is, oh boy, there's some cute stuff here. What am I going to do? I think I may put 2 of these guys down here. Maybe, let's see, is there space up there for somebody? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, I don't know. Boy, those little arrows would have been cute, wouldn't they? Maybe I'll put all 3 of those little guys. I'll put those little guys right there. Just, oh my goodness, just sitting there. That would be totally adorable. And maybe a dream catcher up here. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll have to make up my mind how I want this. I'm going to stamp all of these things out on sticker paper and then color them in, fussy cut them out, and try to decide where to put them. Okay guys, I'm going to stop with these main pieces. I think I am still going to use a few of these others, but some of these words, sentiments, and the arrows and things, I'll just stamp directly into the planner so they don't need sticker paper necessarily. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about how I color my images. And I like to use colored pencils and something called gamsol. This is gamsol. You may have heard of it. It is colorless, odorless mineral spirits. And basically what it does is when you use it over colored pencil, it dissolves the wax and helps to blend it into a nice smooth, sort of a smooth coating over the sheet of paper. And it blends the colors together really nicely. I got this bottle from Inky Antics. I think it's inkyantics.com. And the really great thing about it is that it has this really soft kind of, you see this dauber top. And the reason that's good is because you apply gamsol with these little paper stumps, okay? And so you dab it and it gets the gamsol on the stump, and then you can apply it to your paper, and it doesn't waste it here because it does evaporate pretty quickly. So what you need is the gamsol, and you need some paper stumps, and I'm going to use these 2 small ones, and you need your colored pencils. And in my experience, I've only tried gamsol with Prismacolors and Crayolas, and I have found that it works much, much better with Prismacolors. I think the pigment is just much more saturated, and because of that, they blend much, much easier. So I'm going to take a few minutes here and lay down color, and then I'll come back and show you sort of how to use the gamsol. So what you've probably noticed, and I'll hold this up and see if you can see here, I'm done coloring, and the coloring is not very clean. It's just sort of barely shaded. You can see a lot of white spots still, in between like the little colored bits, and that's because the gamsol is going to just magically blend that. And what you need, like I said, are these little paper stumps, and of course you can see mine have color on the tips of them from the last time I used them. They need to be clean, or else they will, if you, for example, if I leave this purple on here and go to blend something, that purple will be transferred. So the way to clean them, and I'm sorry I didn't do this beforehand because you're going to have to hear this now, is to just rub the tips on sandpaper and sort of scratch off that layer of color. And I'm sorry. And you can see that the color was laid down here on the sandpaper, and now the tip of my paper stump is clean. So let me do that with the other one. And basically every time you want to switch colors, you kind of have to do that. You got to clean the tips. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of how the gamsol works. And then I'm just going to sort of fast forward through the rest of the coloring. So what you do is with this dauber top, I hold the cap so it doesn't go everywhere, and I just sort of gently squeeze. It's not coming out, but it is just sort of like filling up that little top, and press your stump in, and you see how it kind of looks wet now? It's because it's covered with the gamsol. And then you start in the lightest area, the lightest color, and you blend, and then you blend into the darkest color. You go around in sort of circular motions. And so take a look now at that TP. See the difference now? You don't see any white spots in between the colors. It's really nice and blended. The dark blue and the light blue are just sort of seamless together. So it really gives it a really nice blended kind of look really easily. So I'm going to go ahead and color blend all of these. So I'm going to fast forward you for a few minutes while I do that. Okay, so there are those guys, all fussy cut, and let me bring my planner back over here now and try to decide where I want to put them. OMG, just too freaking cute. I'm thinking these guys right there. All this right here. I may take some arrows, maybe stamp them over here. Right, so there are my cute little guys and my little dream catcher, and these two little guys just are killing me here. I love them. And I think the last thing I'm going to do now is color in my globes and these little icons here, and then I think I'm going to be done. So give me a couple minutes to do that. I think this is done, you guys. So here we go. My Inkwell press planner spread from Monday, March 7th to Sunday, March 13th. I used about a gajillion different stamp sets. I will list them down below, and please feel free to leave me comments whether or not you found this video helpful, if there's anything that I could change to do better, which I'm quite sure there's going to be a rather long list of things. But I enjoyed doing this, and I'd like to do it again, but I want to show you guys whatever it is that you would like to see, so please do leave suggestions. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you around the planner community sometime soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.